So as you progress through Starfield, you will unlock skill points. Like pretty much most games, everything now comes with perks. Once you go into your settings, obviously you've got your star map, your inventory, missions, and also the ship, but you have got the skills in the top right. There is a lot to go with. You've got physical, social, combat, science, and also tech. Depending on what you want, it will depend where you kind of go with these skills. I can imagine by the time you finish the whole game, you should be able to unlock all of these, which is a natural progression. The first thing that I think is going to be a big one for me is going to be the oxygen. I think that is going to be number one. So if again, you've got different ranks as well, which is really cool. I like that aspect of not only just getting a skill, because we've seen it in Star Wars, I've seen it in Atlas, I've seen it in many games. You get one skill, so for instance, running faster. You get 50% running faster, 10% jumping, and that's it. Whereas now, we have rank 1 through 4, I think on everything, pretty much you've got here. So as you can see, at the moment, we can only do the top one. We have got like our original ones. So for instance, with obviously the lasers, what you pick at the start will give you a first rank. From there, you can obviously go a little bit more and more, complete the previous rank, obviously, to get to the next one. So, for instance, if we look at the laser one, to get to rank 2, we've got to finish the task in general. So, challenge progress, we've got 8 out of 20, kill 20 enemies with laser weapons. So, for instance, if we want to go with a fitness, I'm going to go with that one. So, use up all oxygen 20 times. That will then give us the next available rank. The interesting thing will be is, do I get to get it automatically, or have I got to spend another skill point for it? That's, again, I think more than likely you don't have to spend the skill point, but obviously you can go more and more, which is even better. So we've got 3 more skill points. Let's have a look at what we've got. So boxing is a pretty standard one. Unarmed attacks do 25% more damage, less OT used when using a power attack. We have stealth, which is adds a stealth meter. You are 25% more difficult to detect when sneaking. So if you are more of the assassin type player, then obviously that's going to be a perfect one for you. We have weightlifting, increases a total carrying capacity by 10 kilograms. Again, that's going to be really good if you haven't got enough time to go sell everything before a next mission. Increase your maximum health by 10% is going to be wellness. I think that one for me is going to be another big one. Heal 200 damage. Again, that's just going to be natural progression through the game. And I think that is going to be a big thing to start with, is by obviously kind of doing these basic ones to start with, because then as you're progressing, like for instance, like we said, depleting the oxygen, I'm naturally going to do that a lot quicker than, say, the lasers. I'm not going to do that if I don't have a laser weapon, whereas fitness, health is always going to be a big one. Then we obviously have a few ones that are not necessarily locked for me at the moment. We have energy weapon disapparation, oh god, environmental conditioning, gymnastics, nutrition, pain tolerance, well, that's an interesting one, martial arts, decontamination, cellular regeneration, concealment, neuro strikes, and finally rejuvenation. Now we're just really doing out the words for me. Unfortunately, we don't actually, and a few skills capture the imagination, like the ability to remain undetected, use assassins, special forces, operatives, and simple thieves alike for centurions. In fact, we do have all of these. Considering the widespread use of energy weapons in the settled systems, specialized training to minimize damage is considered invaluable. Yeah, invaluable. We then have in the settled systems, even oxygen-rich planets and moons may have an atmosphere that is hazardous to human beings. So again, that's going to be really good. From navigating the elevations of alien landscapes to explore derelict ships in zero-G, gymnastic training is invaluable for improving both safety and maneuverability. We then have nutrition, which is advanced nutrition science is no substitute for a good life choice, and know how much and when to eat can be just as important. That one could be a really good one. So we've got to spend 2 more skill points in physical to unlock the next stage. We have pain tolerance. Pain hurts, but only if you're not strong enough to take it. We then have martial arts. There are currently hundreds of martial arts practiced in the settled system, some originating on ancient Earth, some newly created, almost effective in combat. We then have utilizing both ancient meditation techniques and newly developed breathing exercises, it is possible for one to actually trigger their body natural healing ability. That is really cool, and that kind of tells me why it's at the bottom. Once considered the realm of fiction, the ability to disable an opponent without using a weapon is terrifyingly effective when performed by a skilled practitioner. Again, some really good ones in physical. We then have social. We have commerce in this, unlock buy for 5% less and sell for 10% more. Okay, that's interesting. This is obviously all down to your, I don't know if this is this a persuasion one? Yeah, so basically it's kind of your extrovert side. So we're going to go through them anyway. Gastronomy. Okay, you can craft specialized food and drinks and research additional recipes at a research lab. Persuasion, I think that's pretty standard. 10% increased chance of success when persuading somebody. Scavenging, there's a chance you'll find extra credits when searching containers. And theft, unlock the ability to pickpocket targets. Lovely. We then have deception, which is smuggling and piracy are both immoral and highly illegal and considered plagues upon the settled system, but certain undercover work may require a certain criminal skill set. Diplomacy, we have spent 4 skill moves, okay. When a situation calls for words and not weapons, it is best to rely on those trained in statecraft and de-escalation. We have intimidation, the ability to strike fear into an opponent, causing them to flee so that you can escape or attack first, can prove critical in battle. We have isolation, by eschewing team tactics and embracing to the advantage of the lone wolf operations, one can vastly improve their combat effectiveness. Then we have negotiation, again pretty standard. In certain more challenging communications, skillfully supplementing words with credits may help achieve the desired results. And then have instigation. When combat is required, it can be adventurous. Adventurous, is that a word? To convince others to do the fighting for you. Leadership, teamwork is the cornerstone of galactical survival, and nothing motivates team more than trained decision leader. We then have outpost management, which again, while constructing an outpost offers its own challenges, properly managing that outpost can take specialized personality type and specialized training. And then on to the gold one, we've got manipulation, which is recent studies have shown that a suggestion is not an art but a science, and as such can be weaponized to exert control over the susceptible. Ship command, they say a ship is only as good as its crew, but that is contingent upon the crew having the right captain to lead them. And finally, oh yeah, exonosociology. Oh my god. When a scientist, whilst sensitive life has yet to be discovered, the Galactical's alien species are generally intelligent enough to be susceptible to the power of suggestion. Okay, we got away from that one. This one should be a lot easier. We can do this one. So we have got the combat, ballistics, dueling, pistol certification and shotgun certification, as well as lasers. Laser weapons do 10%, melee weapons do 25% more damage, take 10% less damage whilst wielding a weapon. Ballistics weapons do 10% more damage, pistols do 10, and also shotguns. We then also have demolitions, we have heavy weapon certificate, we have incapitation, particle beams, and also rifle certification. Pretty standard amongst all of these, really. It is just predominantly based around weapon damage, as well as then obviously I can imagine more demolition, so any frags and stuff will again do more damage. We have marksmanship. Be cool if you have arrows in space. That'd be interesting. Perhaps no combat scenario is more frightening or lethal as a single shot weapon. Well, yeah, okay, I was going to say that makes more sense. So it's not necessarily a bow and arrow in space, but it is almost, trying to think of a weapon, it's almost like a sniper but in a rifle form, where it is just a one shot, so bang bang bang, rather than an auto. If you're going for it, rapid reload, that is going to be perfect. Sniper certification, cannot wait to get my hands on a sniper. Targeting, we then have armor penetration, crippling, and also sharpshooting, so pretty standard there. Armor penetration, as you can imagine, will go through armor. very bog standard. Crippling, specific targets, the pressure points and nerves and various limbs can disable opponent, limiting their combat effectiveness. That would be incredible. And then obviously sharpshooting, for those who specialize in precise targeting, that may damage come quickly, efficient affair. So that might be more towards the marksman of kind of your, what is it, like the red dot sight. So it's basically your hip fire and everything is a lot more accurate, I'd say. We then have science, which again is going to be an absolute ball ache to try and actually do. We have astrodynamics, we have geology, medicine, research methods, and surveying. Okay, so what we got in here then? Increase grav jump range by 15%, get more common and uncommon resources from surface objects, med packs, trauma packs, and emergency kits restore 10% additional and health 10% faster. That is one that I'm actually going to go for. I think that's going to be a good one. Use healing items 20 times while wounded. Perfect. Research methods. Resources required to craft items and complete research projects is reduced by 10. Nice. We have botany. We then have scanning. We have spacesuit design, weapon engineering, and zoology. Interesting. So no one could have expected the number of new species encountered of alien worlds, or the importance of those skilled in their behavior and domestication. Beautiful. Life in the 24th century can be exceedingly dangerous, and the ability to maintain and modify personal weapons can be essential to one's survival. Then we also have, while a basic spacesuit can protect one from the vacuum of space, it takes a specialized design to withstand the rigorous of many alien worlds. While anyone can use ship scanners, it takes specifically trained operators to detect hard-to-find planetary resources or uncover details of nearby ships. And then finally, the scientific study of flora, while important on Earth, became even more essential as humanity began exploring alien worlds. We then have astrophysics, chemistry, and outpost engineering. A ship scanner receives vast amount of data, but it takes a trained mind to efficiently analyze it all. When crafted by the skilled and safety conscious chems, can be used to enhance health and performance across the settled system. And proper construction of habitation modules is essential to one's survival on any alien world. Then we also have, on the gold one, we have fusion, we're going to call that, planetary habitation, and special projects. It is possible to maximize a ship's energy output by specifically directing the unique nuclear process that occurs when its reactor. While outpost building is always challenging, doing so on a world with a dangerous environment requires a specialized training. And finally, big guns are great, but in the settled system, sometimes the best weapon is simply an old-aged knowledge is power. And finally, we are getting there. Thank you for listening, and if you have ripped your ears out by now, then I understand. We have the tech, ballistic weapons system, boost pack training, piloting, security, and targeting control systems. So each of these ballistic ships weapons have 10% increased damage and cost 20% less to use in targeting mode. You can now utilize boost packs. Piloting, you can now utilize ship thrusters. You can attempt to hack advanced locks, and 2 auto attempts can be banked. Nice. Unlock ship's targeting functionality. And then we also have energy weapon system, engine system, payloads, shield systems, starship engineering, starship design, robotics, particle beam weapon system, missile weapon system, automated weapon system, boost assault training, very nice, and EM weapon system, as this is pretty much the combat for your ship, basically. So it is standard stuff. Obviously the boost pack you get pretty much after the first one or the first mission, so that's going to always be a nice one to add on to it. But again, it's going to be just all based around your spaceship, and I can imagine as we go further in, we'll have more spaceship battles and also harder ones that we may need some of these. So I think in terms of skills, there's a definite good amount that you can go with. I personally would always go with kind of the bog standards to start with. If you're a good kind of shooter, you know how to use a weapon, then obviously this is going to be a great start to go with. If I'm thinking of the first ones, we've gone with fitness, wellness, and then also the heal, the medicine, because they are going to be great ones to just lasting longer in general. If I'm thinking of my final one, which is, well, I think I'm level 5 at the moment, I think, what do I want to go with? Ballistics weapons do 10% more. what do I go with? Shotgun's good, pistol's decent, but I'm thinking if I go to one of these, if I go, for instance, with weightlifting, I can carry more, means I can sell more, means I can progress more. I'm going to go with that. I've kind of talked myself into it. Sprint for 1,000 meters whilst at 75% more or maximum load capacity. Perfect. Nice and easy, which means I only need to spend one more point to be able to get myself onto this next level, which again is just going to be fantastic. But all skills are important. Let me know which ones you are going for first.